it's Kaipacho with the Weekly Paleo Report for August 18th, 2021. I am at the Council Hall of Earth Haven, an ecological community. I'm here visiting my daughter, Carmen, and I thought with the full moon in Aquarius, the sign of community, I would come by the Council Hall and share with you the 12 different aspects of healthy community that the Earth Haven group has come up with. So I'm just going to read these off if you can't see them. It is, we are creating a village which is a living laboratory and educational seed bank for a sustainable human future. In the midst of planetary change, our experiment helps inform and inspire a global flowering of bioregionally appropriate cultures. And then they're going to go around and we'll do, just like the 12 signs of the zodiac, you can figure out which one of these is Aries, Taurus, Gemini, etc. This one with the light is hard to read, but it says promote and ensure long-term structural integrity of the community. And then our second one here, let's see if we can get it. Oh, the lighting's not showing. Catalyze local and global exchange through learning, teaching, and networking. And then we come to shift from wasteful to regenerative use of resources. I'm trying to get the light right. It's all dark. Let's see if I can. Again, it's all dark. Doggone it. Use and develop ecologically sound technologies for water, waste, energy, construction, and other essential systems. I'm sorry you cannot read it, it's too dark. These should get lighter now because we're going away from the sun. Develop and support a thriving local community. Grow, raise, and trade our food, medicine, and forestry products in an eco-responsible bioregional network. Practice fair, participatory, and effective self-governance. Encourage diverse spiritual practices, conscious connection to all beings, and progressive social action to thrive. Nurture personal growth, interpersonal understanding, and mutual trust as the core foundation for a deeply connected human community. Practice healthy, holistic lifestyles that balance self-care with care for others. We'll be talking about that a lot today with the Mercury-Mars conjunction in Virgo, in conjunct Chiron in Aries. Create a culture of celebration, beauty, and pleasure. Last but not least, use capital and labor resources to provide common infrastructure and meet our collective needs. And that brings us all the way around the circle, back to where we began. So let me give you some aspects that are happening today and talk about it. I'm down here at the Crystal Bridge because I got to show you the Crystal Bridge. This is my favorite bridge in all of planet Earth. It's just fantastic, right? Oh my goodness. This is what community can do when different artists and people get together. Love the moon. Look at crescent, half, gibbous, full moon. It's fantastic, man. Oh gosh. Anyway, yeah. Well, you got to see the pyramid down over here. Yesterday, Hurricane Fred, I guess, landed, and we had this creek was a raging river. So, whoosh. Yeah, I'm going to try to find a nice spot over here and talk about these aspects. Mercury conjunct Mars, like I said, in conjunct Chiron, okay, is today. And then it comes into trining Uranus on Friday and Saturday. And so we have, it's so interesting, all these aspects. Chiron and Uranus have been traveling, 30 degrees away from each other for so long that whenever one gets a trine, the other gets a square or an inconjunct, and but they always get triggered at the same time. So this is a very powerful relationship that I would like to talk about a little bit today. But in addition to that, then of course now the sun, is at the late degrees of the lion, Leo, and will be moving into Virgo on Sunday. But before he goes into Virgo, there's a opposition to Jupiter, basically going on all week. Jupiter in Aquarius, Sun in Leo. Let's talk about it. In the meantime, Venus has moved up in they just put in this new swing in the Peace Garden here. It's all bamboo. This is virtually a rainforest down here. It's in North Carolina, a little south of Black Mountain. Anyway, yeah, Venus trine Saturn is on Monday, and that Mercury is going to move into an opposition to Neptune on Tuesday, whipping through Virgo. Mercury just went into Virgo. And by the 29th, it goes into Libra. That is 18 days. 18 days in Virgo, Mercury. I mean, it's like going almost 2 degrees a day. Look it's a confluence. The confluence is always a sacred, special place where two rivers meet. The indigenous people always did ceremony there. I was going to sit out here, but it might be too noisy. Anyway, other thing I wanted to mention is Uranus stations and goes retrograde on Thursday over there in Taurus. And that makes, listen to this, this is kind of a record. Black Moon Lilith, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Eris, and the North Node are all retrograde. Ho! A record number of retrogrades. Yes. So we can talk about that too. All right, let me see if I can find a place where the mosquitoes don't eat me alive. I doubt it. I could meditate on this one for a long time, but I'm gonna just kind of jump in. I'm gonna jump in with a biblical verse that really stood out for me more than any other, and that is, "Let he who is sinless cast the first stone." That was when Jesus came upon a crowd of people who were going to stone a prostitute. And he stood in front of the prostitute and spoke to the crowd. And this is the social group taking upon itself to enforce morality, laws, rules, boundaries, and judge individuals. This is this whole Sun in Leo opposite Jupiter in Aquarius, and the moon coming around for a moon-Jupiter conjunction opposite full moon. This is really this call between, and that's what the mantra has to do today, with the interior and the exterior, the personal and the social. And we are both. In fact, we can't have one without the other. A society is made up of individuals, and if we have a group of individuals, they form a society. And let's look at the other side. A society needs individuals. Otherwise, it's not really a society. It's a dictatorship, a state of totalitarianism, or a shepherd leading a flock of sheep. It's not, a society. Society kind of takes for granted an intelligent group of individuals that collectively make choices and decisions. So without individualized Leonian lions and lionesses, you're not going to have an enlightened or awakened or liberated social structure or community. So this is this Leo-Aquarius axis, this polarity that is, we want to talk about today, because what does it involve? Let's look at what it involves. Obviously, Mercury, Venus, and Mars they went through Leo first, before they came to Virgo. And the Sun comes through Leo, and then goes into Virgo. Leo is the 5th sign of the zodiac. It is fixed fire. It is a point in the cycle. It is the archetype of soul manifestation, the acceptance of a soul purpose, an original, unique, powerful identity, a creative self. So it's like this culmination. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, all kind of feeds into this powerful, ruled by the sun, the center. And then that sun, that center, that powerful individual gets humbled into Virgo, needs to work on itself, needs to prepare itself. So the inconjunct, the 150-degree aspect, okay, it has to do with this Virgo flavor, okay, because Virgo goes from 150 to 180, and it is the preparation for the individual to enter Libra, the sign of relationship, and the second half of the zodiac, society, other people at large, business relationships as well as romantic and personal relationships. So this Virgo now, where we've got this Mercury-Mars conjunction, let's first of all talk about the inconjunct to Chiron, the wounded healer, spending 8 years in the masculine sign of Mars-ruled cardinal fire Aries, the warrior. And that 150-degree aspect is an adjustment. And Virgo is the sign of healing. So this is a time period where the stars are saying it is necessary for each and every one of us to heal ourselves, to focus inward with all these retrograde planets, reflect, remember, reintegrate, rejuvenate, go into all of the repair. And repair what? Aries is, I deserve to exist. I have wants, desires, urges. I have this bestial, animal, sexual, urge to conquer, spread, experiment, charge, begin, start, go, do. Act now, think later. It's very primitive. It is the first urge, the first desire, the first expression of a new evolutionary intention. And it comes up from Pluto. Mars is the lower octave of Pluto. It comes up from that root chakra of Pluto as just an urge, an impulse. And these urges and these impulses to just want and desire and take and have and, be the beast needs to, let's say already has, through thousands of years of patriarchy, created inequality, manipulation, exploitation of resources, of people, of finances, of food, of blah, 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 blah. There's just been this take, like the hungry ghosts that I spoke of in the last Pele report. So now we have this Mercury Mars coming through Virgo. And Virgo wants to, let's think about it. Let's look at this. Let's look at the details and the results, and let's analyze these impulses and these desires with our conscious mind. Is it healthy? Is it sustainable? Moving into Venus and Libra, is it fair? Is it equitable? Think of what, those, I'm sorry they didn't show up so good, but in the council hall, these 12 foundation stones of community, are I feel very profound, and I feel very important and very noteworthy. It's like I want to make a big list of those and, try to duplicate that worldwide all over the place. And so, this, and then at the same time, the healing of the impulse, or the healing of desire, or the healing of unconscious action is done right now with the help of a trine to Uranus. And here we have Uranus in Taurus. Uranus is the third eye awakened, liberation, enlightenment, genius, experimentation. In the sign of Taurus, my resources, my personal resources, my finances, my belongings, my professions, my talents, my capacities, as well as Gaia and her food and her resources. So the way that we, the way that we heal this kind of unchecked taking of, of this raw desire nature of Aries is through the conscious Mercury, Mars, and Virgo integration of Uranus, understanding, number one, that each and every one of us is unique, has a certain genius, has a gift to offer the community, and each one of us can internally identify our own unique gift, our gold. So by finding our own gold, Sun in Leo, by shining the light on our own creativity and what we are able to create and offer the community, offer the relationship. So it's almost like we just get in touch with ourselves in order to give ourselves away. And this is the moon Jupiter conjunction in Aquarius on the full moon. Super, super powerful expression of group nurturing and networking and holding each other and society at large, not in a judgmental, you're with us or against us, you're with me or, away with you, but in a compassionate container. And I have to read the Sabian symbol for this new moon, the full moon, because it's really, it puts a whole nother light and a whole nother dimensional interpretation of the illumination that can be experienced with this full moon. Yeah? So here it is happening at none other than, it is at the 30th degree, the last degree. And I've got planets at 29 degrees. If you have planets at 29 degrees, I call this is, the last chance lifetime. In your natal chart, this lifetime is like your last chance. You've got to get that planetary energy, integrated in through that sign and house in this lifetime. It's critical. That's why they call it a critical degree. So this full moon, happening. Look at, I got this butterfly on my. Little butterfly is just hanging out, listening to the Pele report. It's on Sunday, 29 degrees, 37 minutes. Yeah? How do you like that? Listen to this. Deeply rooted in the past of a very ancient culture, a spiritual brotherhood in which many individual minds are merged into the glowing light of a unanimous consciousness is revealed to one who has emerged successfully from his metamorphosis. The keynote: the ability for the person with an open mind and a deep feeling for self-transcendence to come in contact with higher forms of existence. Yeah? I love these secret brotherhood references. The Galactic Federation and the Brotherhood of Light, and it's great, man. A spiritual brotherhood constitutes a state of multi-unity, a multiplicity of individuals. If one thinks of the paths they trod to reach their final metamorphosis, but a unity of consciousness and soul, thus unanimity. In this spiritual whole, each unit is a recognizable form or entity if one looks at it with the eyes of personality. But when seen through a unified spiritual vision or from a distance, the whole appears to be one single area of radiant light. Similarly, when studied by modern physicists, light can be apprehended either as a stream of identifiable particles, photons, or a continuous wave. Here's the big one. Wait for it. Get out of here. Whether it is seen as one or the other depends on the point of view. In the quantum field, the quantum world, the observer affects the observed. There is no separation. We all affect each other. We are all in unity, oneness of consciousness. It's when we go into separation and we go into personality that we see all the individual particles and all the pieces, and we can get, judgmental and go overboard, finding differences. Or we can focus on the unified. So what today's mantra is about is that the more each one of us does our inner work, which is becoming self-aware, metamorphosing, and constantly transcending ourselves. How about that? I have an identity. Oh, I expand it, and then I expand that one, and I expand that one, and I liberate that one, and I mean, it just keeps on. It's a process. There is no end. And we become more aware of the brotherhood of light and extraterrestrial beings, non-earthly spirit beings. We become aware of them and they come to our assistance. So there is this whole magical realm. Pisces comes after Aquarius. So we're moving there. Neptune is already there. So today's mantra is just this breathing and this going back and forth between, Leo and Aquarius, in some ways Cancer and Capricorn, in some ways Virgo and Pisces, but it's going between the personal and the social, the inner work and the outer work, maybe the visible and the invisible, the emotional and the mental, right? The vision and the feeling. So, the more that we breathe and the more that we go and do our inner work and bring it out, and then do our outer work and bring it in, and we do this breathing back and forth, this is healthy, this is balanced, this is natural. Day and night, spring and fall, you name it. The more we get stuck and we subjectively close off and get in lockdown and just go inward and mask up and don't talk to anybody, or don't, do our social distancing and back off and stay, blah, 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 just, go in. Or just get out. I'm on Facebook, I'm on internet, I don't care about the mask. I'm out. I'm up, I'm in my head, I'm all thoughts, and I'm not feeling anything, I'm just thinking. And I'm talking more than listening, because I'm not taking in what anybody else says. I'm busy exhaling, right? So there is just this weaving back and forth, the sine wave, the wave, the up and down, the in and out, the yin, the yang, the inhale, exhale. Here we go. Right? Life is breathing in and out. Sitting in silence, then giving a shout. If I only do one and neglect the other, I lose my balance and am torn asunder. I like that, torn asunder. I Googled that, what is asunder anyway, and it's just like basically ripped away, torn apart. So maintaining that balance, and that's what this full moon can illuminate for us. And this Mercury-Mars in conjunct Chiron, we can really repair, and we can heal, and we can breathe, and come into our center and share ourselves. Virgo's the sign of service, of work. We integrate into the greater whole by giving of ourselves. So that's what I say, we find ourselves to serve. So this full moon at the 29th degree of Leo, that sun is about to, humble, about to go into service. So let's take our gold and use it to heal, to work, to share, and to serve. Yeah? One more time. Life is breathing in and out, sitting in silence, then giving a shout. If I only do one and neglect the other, I lose my balance and am torn asunder. May you not be torn asunder. May you do both. Namaste, aloha, so much love.